Everybody, this is the Iron Sun, and this is going to be just a quick 2 or 3 minute snippet. Um, so, one of the things I wanted to say was, um, yeah. So, in the title, social construction theory. So, social construction theory is it's a projection. These are just my thoughts. When women use social construction theories and they say, "Oh, it's all socially constructed," or the reason why men can't express their emotions is because of society. Now, obviously, common sense. Um, there are certain elements of society that are programmed and that people follow those programmings, but then there's also biological realities that coincide with that. Um, the issue with women, I've noticed a lot of women, they think that social, the reason why they blame everything on social construction is because they're so there's a lot of times they're such slaves to the social changes that they kind of project their instincts and they assume that others have this herd like mentality as well when it comes to the social. So they assume that men have it. They assume that basically they assume that everyone is them. Um, so that's it. I just wanted to say that. Um, you could also imagine how much power you could wield just by um, utilizing the feminine collective. That's another subject. I was thinking about that today. Um, how you can weaponize female nature, but um, granted, on one instance it can be this beautiful thing that can, create harmony in a family or create harmony just wherever you are. But then on the other end, it could be a great political weapon to use against pretty much entire nations just collapsing under the weight of um, entire nations collapsing under the weight of moral relativity, which um, with the female way of thinking, it kind of fosters that in communistic styles of thought. Um, but yeah, social construction theory, in my opinion, is just a projection. It's a projection of instinct. So when someone claims that the reason why something happens is purely for social reasons, is purely for social construction, this is just to give you another lens, just to give you another perspective. Perhaps perhaps they're wrong, or perhaps they're half right. And the reason why they're half right is because they're projecting. In the instance of women, again, I'm kind of repeating myself, but um, yeah, pretty much. Women who say it's socially constructed, that's why, for example, that's why men don't feel like they can express themselves. Um, they're saying that they need things to be changed for them in order to express themselves a certain way. So they're saying, well, this people want to be chameleons. Like basically, like to put it more succinctly, um, social construction is basically a submissive way of understanding God. Um, I'm sure people know. I'm sure everyone knows that one person who has to hear, who has to know the status of the person who's actually contributing the information, as opposed to actually critically thinking about the information. So then you end up not being able to give information to a person just based off of your status alone. So let's say you're just very smart, you have a high IQ. If you don't have anything to indicate your social status, and a lot of times, especially with women, your any information that you could give, having that be a contributor to something that they take on, they see you as the nuisance. So because of that, they discredit and discount anything you say. It doesn't matter how logical it is, because their feelings for you, the way that they describe you, is already, they want to submit to something. They want to see an authority and recognize that authority by nature, psychologically. And you get men that are like this as well, but generally speaking, men tend to be a little bit more independent in their thought processing. But um, yeah, with women, um, the issue with this is that essentially you can't have a logical debate or a logical, you can't really have a conversation that will go anywhere in terms of like making critical decisions and making critical social changes with a woman unless you are over her, unless you have authority over her, or unless she sees you as a great authority or you have enough social status, basically. Because otherwise, it's a no point to her because you're nobody, and you get that kind of shaming tactic thrown at you, or whether it comes from guys sometimes, because some guys have that kind of submissive mentality as well. They'll be like, "Who are you? You are nobody," and it's like, you know, just take my information, decide for yourself whether it's good or not. You can look at the information and analyze it for yourself. You can look up the stats and things like that. I've had conversations with women about false allegations. Some women have told me it's rare, and I told them no, it's not rare. It's between anywhere between 10 and 50 or 60%. Um, Depending on where you go, the Department of Defense, they they believe it's somewhere around, I think. Um, so with the Department of Defense, I think I was researching and looking at something. Shows stats thing from 2019, it's doubled. So false allegations have doubled from, I think, 12 or 15% to like 35% in the last, I think it's short, so 5 or 6 years. I could drop the link in the description if anyone wants to, but um, when I actually told the person I was talking to, hey man, yeah, false allegations happen, they're pretty serious, it happens to guys all the time. um, I don't know. Yeah, it got to the point. I've gotten to the point where I know I can tell if a person's looking down on me, and I can tell if they're kind of looking at it from that submissive kind of lens, or like, oh, are you mighty enough for me to listen to? Are you important enough? Because if not, I'm not listening to you. I don't care how logical you are. That's, in my opinion, that probably stems from emotional thinking, but I haven't thought about it too much. Um, yeah. Um, Regardless of whether I was right or wrong about the false allegations that, so there's a certain respect you have to have for someone who looks at the information logically and then rules it out, um, versus a person who just says, "Well, who are you? Where's your credentials?" And then they don't look at any of the information you presented them or anything. And maybe they might counter with information they have, but if you scrutinize or if you look at that information and critically examine it, then you're the enemy. You're the enemy no matter what you do. With those kind of people, don't waste your time in those kind of conversations. I'm kind of done. I'm going to try to do more content like this, just quick snippets. Um, I really like the quick snippets. I don't like doing long stuff. And yeah, um, so I'm not gonna lie. I'll cover that in the future. But yeah, these are just things I was thinking about today. I had a lot of conversations with women, especially recently, and in a lot of those conversations, most of them kind of reverted back to some sort of social construction narrative. And I was thinking to myself, what is driving them to this narrative? But then I also know that women are very herd like. But then, I mean, people who research, human psychology have said that women are a very notable researcher on human behavior. Alison Armstrong notes that women are very herd like. Um, and I think that kind of gets projected on to a lot of the conversations they tend to have about human behavior, biology, basically anything is in the it ends up being blamed on social construction theory, which kind of like paints everything nowadays. Um, and that's just not the case. Um, there's a lot more factors that go into the creation of worlds, the creations of uh, how we live our lives. That's it. So going forward, I'm going to try to keep these videos shorter, probably 5 minutes. That's it. That's all I need to get my point across. Um, I'm going to try to do this more often again because I think I like the shorter things to get my ideas out like a blog journal. All right, go.